Hello, this is V. Scott, where I bring you news, scandals, black history, poetry, vlogs, and so much more. What's up, y'all? Now we're about to get right on into it about Shirley Strawberry's husband. It's already been all over the internet, all over YouTube, everywhere just about. I'm just now getting it to you, but let's go ahead and get into it anyway. So, his name is Ernest Williams, but he goes by the name of Ernesto, right? He has been arrested on bank fraud, operating a credit repair company, cashing a fraudulent check, carrying a sawed-off shotgun, some lewd offenses that has him forbidden from being around underage children. He's also forbidden from being around animals. Steve Harvey is the one who introduced Shirley and Ernesto. That's what he go by, Shirley and Ernest. So Steve Harvey introduced them. He proposed on the Steve Harvey morning show, right? And I found it kind of strange when he had called in and Shirley didn't recognize her own dude's voice, and Steve had to say, "Shirley, this your man." What? What? Because she didn't even recognize his voice. The whole thing just seemed a little odd and out of place for me, because I'm definitely gonna recognize my man's voice. And he proposed to her on on the morning show of Steve Harvey. So to me, her not knowing his voice, um, I don't think that she knew him very well, and she didn't take her time to get to know him and everything. Because why don't you know your man's voice? And you understand me, right? Y'all get me. I know y'all get what I'm saying. Why didn't she know his voice? Because she didn't get to know him very well, and she rushed right into this marriage. A lot of times, some women do, because they feel like they're getting older, and this is their last chance or whatever. I don't know what the case was, but let's keep it moving. Now, Ernest has a long criminal history that goes back as far as the 1980s. Okay, felony charges go back to the early 2000s. Shirley must have thought that Ernest had really changed his ways, or maybe she was desperate, like I said, and did not care. I hope, I don't know, but these are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me go ahead on, because I had to write down my thoughts, write down everything so I didn't forget. So, with that being said, Shirley, maybe she thought he had changed, or maybe she didn't care. I don't know which one. But with that being said, Ernest opened up a 24-hour barbershop in Atlanta for people living in like the who's who, the people that's living the high life, I guess. All types, and all types visited that barbershop. NFL, NBA players. His clients came from so many different walks of life. And he owned and operated Nesto Elite Private Security Company. It was an unarmed security company for people that desired the services or needed the services. All this just made Ernest look like he had actually changed his life around and was making an honest and pretty good living for himself. But guess what? Baby? October of last year, the truth started coming out that he was still indeed a damn crook. Okay, he was still a crook. This is how I wrote it down for me. Roswell police have arrested two people in connection to a $1 million business scheme. Investigators say 57-year-old Ernest Williams and 46-year-old Erica King convinced people to pay them for their business expertise. They will align themselves with their victims with promises to be able to grow their brands, their missions, their life goals, their social media followings, said Roswell police officer um, Lim Lupe. I think that's what it said. Police says Williams and King acted the part, and people pay good money for their services. However, police say they never provided any services, and it was all a scam. All a scam. Scamming people out of their money. Ain't that a shame? Just what? Mm-mm-mm. Hold on one second. Hold on. So like I said, it was all a scam. And then it said, we know about more than 1 dozen victims, over 1 million in monetary and property loss, said Officer Lupe. So they have scammed people out of over $1 million in monetary and property loss. Like, come on. People out here already struggling. And then y'all up here playing these games, doing this type of stuff to people. People that's desperate, want to grow their businesses and get a better following on social media, trying to do what they do. And you up here doing this type of stuff. But anyway, let's keep on going. Roswell detectives first began looking into Williams and King in June regarding a case of rental fraud at a property on 900 block of Pine Grove Road. Once detectives started looking into their financial transactions, it led them to the extensive business scheme. Okay? Now, here we go. Williams and King both have charges of fraud, forgery, and theft against them. Police say Ernest Williams also goes by Nesto. Erica King also goes by Erica Hughley or Erica Hughley Rothschild. The reason behind Ernest being investigated was about property and unpaid rent. And it was a home that he shared with Shirley Strawberry in Georgia. So it was a 5-bedroom, 6.5, 85 square foot Georgia home that Shirley Strawberry and Ernest resided in. They paid over $8,000 a month to rent the home. Rent was behind from April, May, June, July, and August, and it totaled over $39,000. So they owed over $39,000 in back rent to this company. So the company filed a dispossessory affidavit against the couple and their companies. This is when they became suspicious of rental fraud, and this is when the police got involved, researching to see what was actually happening with the situation. Upon their research, they found an entire scheme that Ernest had set up. So, with them not paying, they didn't pay, and then it got investigated, and so then the investigation led them to find Ernest's entire scheme that he had set up. So, and then here it is. Here, I'm reading some and talking to y'all. It said Ernest was hit with charges. The first one was theft by deception, telling someone he would help their finances, boost their credit, social media, all the things Ernest and his partner in crime, Erica, were telling people they could do, but never actually did anything. Okay? Second, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. 2 of those charges were dismissed later, and this took the bond from $75,000 to $15,000. Third, theft by operating a credit repair service, and theft by deception, theft of services. Ernest went to a Chrysler car dealership, got the car fixed, and wrote a bad check for less than $5,000 but more than $1,500. So the company is saying he deceived them. His behind was charged and arrested. Well, he was arrested for that as well. They arrested his behind for that. He got arrested. So let's go. Now here we go. Let's get to the next page. Give me a second, y'all. My paper everywhere. Had to write this down. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, here we go. There were 5 different counts totaling $800,000, $200,000 for each count of a child depicting themselves in a way a child should not be depicted, and these depictions were in his possession and Ernest's possession. These charges came 4 months after, these charges came 4 months after the other charges came about. It's very likely the government is going through different information, and this is how they found out all of this. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they going through, different parts of his information, different things. Y'all already know what I'm saying. So let's keep it moving. So Ernest victimized 11 people, which he has to stay away from. So it said that he needs to stay away from 11 people that he victimized. And among those people is Shirley Strawberry's daughter and her daughter's children. And Ernest is also not supposed to be around animals. He's been instructed not to be around animals, people. What kind of mess is really going on here, okay? And so after this, and then we have all this, right? Shirley Strawberry wrote a letter to the court for her husband where they said that her husband has, victimized her daughter. Now let's go ahead and get into this letter. I totally find this ridiculous that she would even write a letter for a man that victimized her child in the way that you know what it is. I don't agree with that. I'm going to go ahead and read this letter. I am totally disgusted by this. And then you still out here reading the strawberry letter, lady. You are the strawberry letter, okay? You are the strawberry letter now. You need some advice. But let's go ahead and get into this letter. My name is Shirley Strawberry. I am over 21 years of age, and I reside in Fulton County, Georgia. The facts in the declaration are based upon my own personal knowledge. I am the wife of defendant. My husband is listed defendant in cases, and they have the number. I won't read the number, before Fulton County Superior Court. I have been told in one or more cases pending before the court, I have been identified either a victim of his or witness to a purported criminal act of his, to which I respond, I am neither. It is my intention that the court know once and for all I am not afraid of my husband, that I wish for him to be released with no conditions as regards to me, that I wish for him to be able to reside with me or wherever he elects to reside, and that his release be effectuated immediately. It is further my declaration that I have never made known anyone prior or since his arrest desire contrary to that which is in this affidavit, and if a contrary understanding has been previously conveyed to the court or any other, they have been deceived. I have not been threatened, coerced, nor harassed in any way by any person to issue this declaration. So say I, Shirley Strawberry. So that's her letter that she wrote to the court asking them to release her husband and saying that she's not afraid of her husband. But what about your daughter? I know her daughter grown now, but she have grandchildren, and even though your daughter's grown now or whatever, this is disgusting, lady. What is your problem? But let me go ahead on and let y'all know about this. The assistant district attorney said that there are 15 more charges that Ernest will be facing. So he had 15 more charges that's going to be coming to him. And this is what, I'm thinking. Hopefully, once these 15 more charges come, that she will change her tune and stop standing by this mess of a man and making a mockery of herself and making a whole ass out of herself and just being foolish for this man. This man has hurt people and animals, children specifically, and one of them is your child and your grandchildren. It's your duty as a mother to protect them, and you are not, Shirley. You need to not read this strawberry letter anymore. And then Steve introduced you to him. What is Steve into? That is the question. So let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Talk to you there.